Is now the best time to invest on Sorare? The statistics says it, the history says it, and in today's video I will answer that question and talk about which players you should buy, the upsides and downsides by investing now, and also if you're brand new to Sorare, remember to sign up using my affiliate link and get $50 after buying 5 cards. And yeah, as you can see on the screen right here, I want to show you my different purchases for the last months. And of course I won't go through them, I will just show you here that I have signed a lot of new players. So I believe that there will be a big spike when the season kicks off. And now I'm specifically talking about the European cards. So when we go on to rare here, we can see that Vincenzo, Lico, Giannis, those type of players that are European season cards. I think now it's the best entry points for those players. And let's be honest, the majority of Sorare managers are actually playing in the European leagues, and there are of course some exceptions by J-League, K-League, MLS and those type of leagues. But in today's video we will mainly talk about the best entry point for the Premier League players, the La Liga players, the Serie A players, in general the top 5 leagues and etc. And also of course the challenger teams, for example PSV, Eindhoven, those type of leagues that isn't that known, but I still think the entry point is very good there. But I think there is so much more risk buying from those regions. I will explain that why further on in the video, of course. And also, those are on the screen right here some of the players that I have picked up recently, and I'm going to be picking up way more players. I am currently making my winning plan and finding out which players I'm going to be buying to maximize my profit. And yeah, in terms of the main question in today's video, is the Sorare market going to go up? Because every season it has done it statistically also, and also historically we have seen that the price have always gone up until the start of the new season. The only difference now is of course classic and in-season, but I don't think the in-season cards will be minted that soon before the season kicks off, so I think we will still see a big price rise of classic season cards before the next season, and that is very important because you want to see that so you know your investments will be worth it. But of course I can never guarantee it, and this is very important. This is not financial advice at all, but this is just my opinion, my experience with Sorare. And yeah, one example here is Hans Van Aken. This is a perfect example because he has played at his same club. He has scored regularly the same. You can see here, last 40 of 61 points. He has been a regular smasher. And we can see that at the start of last season, or at the end of last season, he went for around 20 euros. And now, when the season started in August, he was almost at 100 euros. And now when this game or the season kicked off, because they got more and more minted cards, he went down in price. And then he went to the all-time low in January, when there were a break. And then, when the season started again, he was on another high. And then he went down again in price. And now he's around his all-time low. But you see the price difference now at the end of the season compared to last end of the season. The price difference isn't that big. So I think we will see a price rise of players like Hans Van Aken if he stays at Club Brugge. This is a very bad example because I know nothing about Hans Van Aken, but this is an example I've seen some content creators use that are confident in him and also think that this is a good example of the market being affected by when, of course, the managers or the players actually play. Which is very self-explanatory because you won't get any utility from him in the summer, and therefore there are few people actually picking him up, and then when the season kicks off there are so many people wanting Hans Van Aken in their challenger team, and then the prices will go up, and you could see examples of managers 5xing their profit because of a purchase like this. And that is an example I really like. And if you want more in-depth analysis about this, I will definitely link Jack P. Sorare's video about it, because he goes more into in-depth analytics, because I can't do it because I don't have Sorare Data Premium, which I definitely need to get. And yeah, let's move further on to players you should buy and players you should not buy. We can start with the second one, players you should not buy. That are players like Casemiro, that are rumored to Saudi pro clubs. And that is also another like bad side with buying before the transfer window, because it will be a big transfer window in the summer. It's every single year. And players like Casemiro may sign for Saudi clubs. So it could be a big risk going for players like him that are pretty old in many of the cases, and are expected to leave and have a very, very high wage, and the club wanting to get as much money out from him, and being a player that is on a low in terms of their form, they could see an easy way out and save their reputation by just going to a Saudi club, getting a lot of money. And Casemiro is a player that I think will do it, to be fair. I will still have him because he will have utility in clubs like Al Hilal, Al Nasser, in the AFC Champions League, so I will still have some utility from him. So I am a Casemiro holder, I won't sell him. But I think that's a very, very high probability. But you never know, he may also sign for a Brazilian club if a miracle happens or something. So you never know, he could also get a very, very good club. But the player I most likely like is Mikael Olise. This is just an example, because he's a very high player now. So actually I think this is the worst time to pick up Olise. Worst time 100%. But I will just show you a type of player that may be very good. That is a player that is young, that is in a champion club, and every single move he will get, he will be a starter, he will be an important player, and he will not sign to Saudi clubs. He will be a nail starter, and either way which club he will go to, he will be a starter, and it will be an upgrade. So those type of players that are playing in bad teams in the Premier League, for example Crystal Palace isn't the best team, although Glasner have done miracles there, his move will most likely be favourable either way. The only bad move for him I think is Manchester United, and maybe Arsenal, because Bukayo Saka has the right wing spot currently locked. So that is just something that I really like to keep in mind, that I don't think Olise will get a signing and be a bench player, because his transfer fee is too high for that. So that is an example of a player that I would really fancy going for, actually. And also in general, talking about the difference between champion, challenger, etc. I think challenger is a little bit more risky, because the players can make an upgrade move. For example, if we can just search a PSV, and then we can go through the different players here. We could also go for Celtic also, actually. But here we can see how many of these guys will actually be here next season, and how many of these guys will go up in the divisions. Veerman, very surprisingly, I don't know too much about this by the way, but Veerman could possibly leave, Buscagli maybe, Bakayoko, De Jong, Till. There are different players here that I'm not 100% sure will stay in PSV. But I'm not an expert here, so therefore, if you're going to buy players from, for example, PSV that you think will smash it next season, make sure you know that they will stay, like 99%. Of course, you can never be 100% sure of any of those things, but players like Veerman, players like, if you go to Celtic, for example, players like Matt O'Reilly. Like, this is such a big doubt that he will move to a different club. And those are smashers in Challenger, but if they get a move to a champion side, their scores could be like completely different, because they are normally playing in a system in a Challenger team, and now they get a move that isn't favorable for them. That could be very damaging for their scores and also for their price. So that is something I don't like going for. So therefore I will buy almost non-Celtic players, or non-PSV players, non-Challenger players in general. Just because I won't play there, and I don't have that passion I had when I started playing Sorare, because then I bought players from Scottish League teams and also from La Liga 2 teams, but that is just not passion. I still love Sorare, but like that was just stupidity, because I spent so much time doing research. It was like almost 2, 3, 4 hours just finding out if my goalkeeper were going to play. Because in Champion there are so many good sources that take seconds finding, and also that is the one positive side, because for example if Matt O'Reilly gets up in the divisions to a Champion side, yeah, the scores will be worse, but he will be more recognized, and that could also reflect in the price. But in many of the cases, for example, Celtic, we have McBridge that will predict the lineups each weekend. So that is also something that is very nice if you have Celtic players. But the big risk is, of course, if they will move. So buying nailed Celtic players will be very, very important. And also through this transfer window, knowing the players you buy, knowing the teams, when you buy players from that team, that is very important. Knowing how they will set up next season. Will this guy take set pieces next season for this guy? And this is also very dependent on if you're buying into the hype or selling into the hype. I think 99% of you guys will buy into... No, not buy into the hype, sell, play into the hype. That is, I hope I said that all along, not buy into the hype, because that wouldn't have made any sense. I mean, played into the hype, if that makes sense. So you play into the hype, and I think 99% of Sorare managers will do it. And therefore I think it's very, very important that you know your teams you're purchasing from. And I think Celtic is a very good example of that, because you never know with this next season. I think there are some doubts about the manager as well. But yeah, my name is Vino Savle, and I hope this video helped a little bit out. I personally think now it's the best time to spend on Sorare, but of course this isn't financial advice, and it's hard to give you specific tips because it of course depends on which type of players you want to buy. Me personally will look at this more in depth now actually, and maybe make a specific video about my signings, because I haven't spent too much recently, because I'm been a little bit unsure of the direction I want to take, but I think I have gotten a little bit better of overview in recent times. So I will catch you next one. Bye bye and take care. Peace.